I'm back again. And since I haven't filmed in such a long time, I feel like there are so many books that I've read that I haven't spoken here about. And I kind of wanted to do a video about some of the books that I've read throughout these 6 months. And the first one will be I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy. So this is a young adult novel. It is very easy to read, I'd say. It is filled with a lot of jokes and relatable stuff overall, but at the same time it goes quite deep into different topics. So I kind of like these kind of young adult novels that still have the spirit of teenagers without like unnecessary drama, without some eye rolls from me, from the reader. And this book hit this perfect spot for me. It was the perfect amount sassy, the perfect amount insightful, so I really liked it. And I realized that I haven't said what the book's about. It's about 2 siblings. They are twins, a boy and a girl, and we follow a boy when they both obviously when they were 13, and then we follow a girl when they are 16 or 17, around that age. So yes, I like this style of narration because we get to see little hints and we kind of understand what has happened even before they did. So that was really cool and really smart. And yes, great book. The next book I wanted to mention is another YA, and it's called Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. And this is a novella. It's very, very short. If it was longer, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But the fact that it's a novella, it's quite short, it just makes for an amazing short vacation from the real world into this very, very unusual world. So we follow lots of characters who have gone through a magic door. I don't know why I did this. Magic doors to various magical locations like Narnia, like Wonderland, stuff like that. And they have been to these magical worlds and then they come back, and now they don't know what to do with themselves and how to live in this ordinary world after they've experienced this unusual magical worlds. Lots of the worlds that are described are highly imaginative, and it was just incredible. It's not just like Narnia and Wonderland, those were just my examples. And also it's a kind of a murder mystery which is done really well, especially given that the book is so short. And there are a lot of characters, which I really like. So there's a lot of characters, lots of different worlds, and all of them are explored in a really satisfying way, even though it's quite short. So yes, it is a perfect vacation from the real world if you want to just read something light and meaningful. I would really recommend it. Then the next book that made a big impression on me is Homegoing. So the author's name is a bit of a question mark for me because on BookTube people pronounce it as Yaa Gyasi, and she herself in some audio video interviews she called herself Yaa Gyasi. I have no idea. I mean, I would guess that her pronunciation is the correct one, but I don't know why everybody on BookTube says Gyasi. So yeah, let's just put it out of the way. I guess it doesn't matter that much. What matters is that this is her debut novel. It is absolutely incredible. It's quite heavy. It deals with slavery. It's the main topic of the book. It is set in Ghana in the 18th century. And at the beginning we follow 2 sisters, half-sisters. One of the sisters is sold into slavery and she has to go to America. And another sister is married to an Englishman, to a very wealthy man, and she stays in Ghana. And and we follow the descendants of these two sisters. So yeah, there is even a tree line, which I really liked. It was very cool for me to kind of check who is who. Yes, so each character has only a not short, but relatively short chapter, and then we move on to the next one, the next one, the next one. But all of the characters have very rich personalities. The whole topic of slavery is explored so well. The author herself is from Ghana, but I think she grew up in North America. She clearly knows her stuff. She knows the history of Ghana, knows the history of the US, and it is incredible to read. I didn't know that much about this whole stuff. It kind of reminded me of There by Tommy Orange. With this book, it has kind of a similar format. We have lots of characters and just short chapters for each character. But here in Tommy Orange's book, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't feel like we got enough of each characters. But here, it's done amazingly, and I highly recommend this book. Another book that has been talked about all over the place is 7 Husbands by Evelyn Hugo. No. 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna repeat that, so you'll have to deal with that. So yeah, this book follows, I hate describing plots. So yeah, I don't want to be talking too much about this book because it's quite well known, quite loud here on BookTube especially. But I will say that I really enjoyed it, but I feel like it has great explorations of self-identity, of sexuality, of the life of famous people, how they cope and adjust. What I especially liked is that the main character is very driven and very ambitious, and she is a woman, and I feel like women who are driven and ambitious can be seen as unlikable, like they're striving for too much. They are not necessarily the role models. And with the main character here, Evelyn Hugo, she is not exactly a likable character, but she's not unlikable as well. She's very real, very flawed. She admits all her mistakes, and whenever she has done something bad, she doesn't lie about it. She says it as it is. And I think I really admired it, because it's not very common in real life, in literature. I feel like if I've never heard about this book before and I've just read it as it is, as an unknown book, I would have loved it so much more, because it is a very good book. But yeah, that's how it is. Hype is hype. It's, at least I know about this book. Maybe if there was no hype, I would have never read it. So yeah, but it's a great book and I enjoyed it. The next book I want to talk about is Wilder Girls by Rory, and this has been published this year, so I kind of wanted to read something fresh. I want to be completely honest, I picked up the book because of the cover. I feel like it's getting very dark. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I hope you can see me. I hope the video is not ruined. This is young adult horror, which is not the genre I usually read. I still don't think it is a proper horror in a proper sense. Like, it isn't scary. There is some gory descriptions of body horror, I think it's called. Like somebody has her arm cut off, and this is described in much detail. I really hated the ending. It was so stupid, but the rest of the book was great. Most of all, I like that there are 3 main characters, all girls, and they have very strong friendship, and it's just great to read about. And these 3 have amazing chemistry, and basically they don't have anybody else in their lives apart from each other, and it's beautiful. I love it. And another thing is that it is set on an island, and the girls all go to private school, and the island is kind of surrounded by these wild woods, and it's closed off, so nobody goes on and off from the island. So I kind of like the atmosphere and the wildness of it all, so to say. Wilder Girls, wildness. And the last book, because it is time to stop because it's getting really, really dark. The last book I want to talk about is a Russian novel called Чапаев и Пустота, and in English it has two different titles. I don't know why, but the first title is Buddha's Little Finger, and the second title is Clay Machine Gun. Yeah, The Clay Machine Gun. It is an incredible novel. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. It is written in the late 90s, but it is set in two different timelines. The first is 1920s, USSR, all of that stuff. And then it is present day, which is the late 90s, and it's set in a psychiatric hospital. And the main character exists in both realities, so to say, and you never know which reality is real, because obviously in the psychiatric hospital they're telling him this is real and this is your imagination. But when he's in the 1920s, it also feels very real, and he thinks that that is his imagination or something, and this is real. So it's incredible. I really loved it, and it is very, 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 very funny, and I didn't expect it at all. I thought it would be a more serious novel, like more deep and brooding, but this is super fun, very entertaining, and it is very absurd and weird in the best sense of the word. I love absurd novels. If you remember, I was talking about Slinks by Tatiana Tolstoy a while ago, and I feel like they are in the same vein of absurd and absolutely crazy plots, and both of these novels really work, even though it's quite funny, and like I said, I laughed very, very often. This is also very deep, and it goes into lots of Zen Buddhist stuff, and it's surprising, it's weird, it works, it's amazing. Read it. It's amazing. Okay, I should stop. This is it for me for today, and please let me know in the comments if you are interested in any of these books, or if you've read any of them or want to read. Just, yeah, like always, please talk to me in the comments. Yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.